Per usual, as we're waking up and warming up through here, Jackson's here today. Yeah.
Not quite per usual now.
Yeah, that's true. So we got Jackson. We've subbed in for Sarah. Sarah left town. She went out to Florida for a week. She will be back in some time here, but in the meanwhile, I'm very, very blessed to have Jackson joining us. Jackson's going to be doing some warm-ups that work for him. Same thing I've told you guys at home. If you got some foam rollers, you got some light movements that you want to do while I'm talking, please feel free to do so. What we're sticking to is what we had began last week for our programming, which is our combination of 2-2-2s, a mobility move, and a core 3, and doing that segment 3 times. We do it at the end of our warm-ups, we do it after half of the workout, and we do it after the end of the workout. The other parts of the workout are having 3 combo movements for a 40-20 second breakdown, and then Mr. Tabata comes in and kind of wraps things up at the back end. Good old Mr. Tabata. So just paying attention to what you got through there. What we need you to get equipment-wise are going to be 2 individual weights. They could be light weights, they could be medium weights, they could be heavy weights. But basically something where you got 2 of them. And let's get a little bit on the heavier end, at least 1 moderate weight option for you today, if you can, please. All right, beyond that, proprioception, I'll do my best to sort of target with Jackson what he should be feeling and what you all should be feeling at home while we're doing these exercises. If you want to go barefoot, join the revolution with us here for the barefoot bit. Get those bottoms of the feet singing to you. And then after that, if you got any injuries, I want you to pay attention to what you're doing. Actually, a little disclaimer, as Jackson is still recovering from a knee injury, so there's certain things that he's doing today, and if you have a knee injury that bothers you, maybe you follow him in what he's doing approach-wise. We'll have more manageable approaches for certain options in our music associated with this. It is up to you to kind of be putting that into the background. We're going to be going a little quiet over here, not to bother the YouTube. Okay, that's enough of me chatting from a seated position. Let's get into our warm-ups here, folks. We're going to start facing the floor, hands and knees position. We're going to be moving into our bird dog. This is our warm-ups. We're not spending much time doing any of them, but let's make sure that you get a nice reach of an opposite hand and foot. You bring it right back down, and you switch it on over. Okay, so with this, it's a posterior chain movement. We want to feel the back muscles waking up a little bit, back of the shoulder, back of the leg. Let's go 2 more. Inhale, lift. Control it down, and last one. All right, we go flat to the floor. Your arms extend out from here. It's your scorpion kick. 1 foot's going to raise up. You're going to twist a little to the opposite side. Come back down to the floor and switch. Lift up, rotate over, bring it back down. You don't need to rotate too far through this, just as long as you kind of open up that front hip. That's really all we're shooting for. Okay, we got last 2. Once again, pay attention to your breathing here. Good, and last one. All right, from here, come up to a plank position, hands under shoulders. Walk your hands back towards your feet and bring yourself up nice and tall. All right, we've got your low squats coming up next from here. So we want our feet to be wider than our shoulders, that way we can get low. We're going to bring our hands up. We're going to fold hands to the toes. And then we're going to sit into a low squat. We're going to try to straighten up our back, and we're going to bring our arms up, and we're going to stand up through those heels. Okay? Do it again. Let's find a nice steady fold, then a nice squat. We're going to straighten up the spine. We're going to stay down here for a moment. 3, 2, bring the arms up, stand up, and last one here, nice little fold. Good. Squat it down, straighten the spine, move around a little bit. 3, 2, and arms up and stand. Okay, our Frankenstein kicks are next. So from here, we want an opposite hand, opposite foot, opposite hand connection going out in front of us. If you can't reach out that far, just go to the shin. No big deal through here at all. You're waking up the balance, so let's kind of think that if we can focus our eyes and if we can tighten our bellies, we'll really get ourselves there a lot faster. All right, 2 more. And last one. We're doing golf stances next. So athletic position with the feet. Hands are out in front from here. We're going to stand up as we open an arm and look at that hand. Then we squat and bring it back down. Switch. Opposite eye opens. Bring it right back down. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 1 more. Inhale, lift. exhale down. Okay, and today, as an extension of your warm-ups, just to really kind of prioritize teaching good deadlifts to everybody, something that is important as we do our 2-2-2s, we're going to spend a little bit of time just practicing this in our warm-ups. So we're going to pretend like we've got some weights right in front of our legs, and it's really important that our imaginary weights stay in front of our legs. As we go down, we're going to keep the eyes just kind of looking a little bit towards the floor. The back stays straight, so you'll notice neither one of us is rounding the shoulders. So back stays straight, we're pulling your shoulder blades down, and then we come up and we press the hips forward. Let's do it again, nice and slow, weights in front of those legs, back stays straight, tighten the belly, and lift. One more, bring it down with control, lats are working, shoulder blades engaged, bring it up and press. Excellent, your second movement is a part of the 2-2-2s after that. We go to the bottom of that deadlift and we take our arms out wide. So it's focused on squeezing the back muscles, release them back down nice and slow. We've got one more good lift here, abs stay tight, and release back down. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna get us right into that 2-2-2 combo that we've got. I need you to grab 2 moderate weights that you're gonna use to complete this. It's 1 minute of 2-2-2s coming up. And then we're going to go straight into that mobility move to follow for 45 seconds, and I'll coach you there for that when we get there. So let's kind of put our 2 individual weights on the sides of our mats. Let's bring ourselves down to a good push-up position. You can, of course, be on the knees for the push-up. It's 2 push-ups, 2 deadlifts, 2 flies, and 2 squats. We'll start you in 3, in 2, in 1. So get into that place and knock out 2 push-ups to start, please. Good, now step it in, find your deadlift, straighten the back, tighten the belly, bring it up, control it back down, bring it up, give me a little press through the butt, bring it back down, and now flies down at the bottom, 2 good flies, and then we follow those flies as we stand up with 2 good squats, right? So work through that combo, keep on going, you've got 30 more seconds through your 2-2-2s. Once we're done with that, we go straight to the mobility move of the day. Perfect. Steps it in, controls it through the up and down. Love it. So I was telling Jackson at the beginning of this, his deadlifts are just absolutely pin perfect. You doing okay?
Yeah, what's next?
Oh, and then you go down and do the flies. Okay. 2 flies, 2 squats. So we're officially finished with this in 3, in 2, in 1. Put your weights aside. You're going to do a single leg deadlift on each side. Go to 1, switch the foot, next side. Okay, so we've got 45 seconds of switching our single leg deadlift on each side. Once this is done, we've got the core 3 coming up to follow. We'll have 10 seconds of transition to the floor for our core 3, and we'll be starting on our side for our core 3. We've got 15 seconds left here, everybody. 15 seconds. Tighten bellies. Find focus in what you're doing. Good. We go finish up in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor on your side. Okay, arms extended, legs extended. We're going to meet them at the top and release. Option is bent knees in 2, in 1. Bring it up. Control it down. Bring it up, control it down. Manageable option, knees are bent. Maybe even elbow is bent as we go through that. And keep that bottom hand to the floor if you need it. Perfect. So work on control through this. We have no breaks between our 3 core movements here. So we're going to be turning and going straight to the next side coming up in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn, switch, get going. Perfect. You lift up, you breathe out, put it together. You get up towards those toes, you exhale, you push some air out, you force those abs to work just a little bit harder. We got 10 more seconds. We're finishing with a mountain climber from here. So we'll be transitioning to a mountain climber in 3, in 2, in 1. Face the floor, hands under shoulders, 1 knee in at a time. If you're feeling good, you might push tempo. If you need to, this is still a part of our warm-ups, you just control your step through there. Good, every knee up, breathe out, and you've got your yourself 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left, folks. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. That is break time. You are officially warm. Nice job.
Woo!
Woo. All right.
Okay.
Now, y'all hear us talk about it with Sarah. It gets warm in here. It gets nice and sweaty up in here. Call this our hot yoga sessions. So you get yourself some water. You can practice these movements with us. We've got our 40-20 combos right here. We've got 3 movements, 40 seconds of on, 20 seconds of active recovery between them. We'll talk about the active recovery once we're actually in it going, but let's get going with our understanding of our 3 movements. Our first one, we want 2 weights. We're going to be doing those thrusters where we're going to do a quarter squat going down, and we're really going to power up through the shoulders at the top of it. Quarter squat, power up. The legs do assist you in driving it up, but those arms are really giving you the power at the top of that. Our second movement is going to be a single leg extension out and back, followed by a bicep curl with both those arms. Single leg out and back, bicep curl. Okay? So there's your second combo. Your third and final movement brings you to the floor. It is a Russian twist with a bicycle on both sides. So we're going to get to whatever Russian twist position works for you. Feet could be in the air, feet could be on the floor. You turn to one side, you turn to the next, you come back to center, you go one leg out, and repeat. Turn to one side, turn to the second side, kick one leg out, kick the next leg out. Perfect. Those are your 3 combo movements. We're going to coach you as we get through it. I'm going to go quit talking, and I'm going to get your clock moving. Have your weights ready. Make sure that you have any bit of water, any of that you need. All right. And we get going in 10 here. So thrusters is where we start, right? And remember with the thrusters, it's a quarter squat essentially. 2, 1, quarter squat, and drive those weights up, right? Quarter squat, drive those weights up. Got 40 seconds working through here. If you have any shoulder issues, if anything like that bugs you, then you're not necessarily driving the arms all the way up. Good, and I'm gonna have you making sure that your knees stay a little bit out as you're going up and down through that squat. Bingo, so that way they're tracking on top of the feet through there. Got ourselves about 10 more seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1 more. All right, keep the weights, and I want you to swing the leg just a little side to side right now. You're going to use this as your active recovery right here. All right. So our second movement is going to be an extension out and a bicep curl. Rest, get ready for it. Weights are down, one leg kicks out, bring it up. In 2, in 1, one leg kicks out, one bicep curl. One leg kicks out, one bicep curl. Now you have the option of switching those legs if you'd like, or you can stay on a single leg if that works for you. Either way is okay. We'll get to that second side regardless as to what happens here. As we're doing this, we're finding stability in that strong leg, right? We're grounding through that hip and the toes even. We're integrating the core into what we're doing as well. We're breathing. All right. We'll finish this one up in 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weights down, keep standing up, kick your butt, and shake out your arms. Okay. Our next movement from here is going to be that Russian twist and bicycle combo. So we go to the floor, go ahead and come down with us. You got a Russian twist, 2, and then 2 bicycles in 2, in 1. One side, 2 sides, 1 leg, 2 legs, repeat. Okay. If you need to have your feet to the floor, you could lift them through the bicycle, but then ground them on that in between. That can give you a little bit of breather if necessary. Good. And most importantly, you're in control. You're feeling that your chest is a little lifted, so your spine stays tall, your core stays active. And got 10 more seconds, then we've got active recovery here. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, rest the feet, take the feet wide, and drop the knees side to side. Okay? Kind of light dropping of the knees side to side as our active You got it, folks. We're getting through this thing. You're doing great today. We'll go finished with this in 3, in 2, in 1. Solid, my man.
That's good, baby.
All right. So that's our first round. We'll have a second one coming up. We'll repeat exactly what we did. Remember, when we repeat this, we're going to tack on those 2 2-2s because we'll be officially halfway through that workout during that point in time. So, quick sip of water, get yourself associated with those weights, whatever you're needing for those thrusters as you start. 10 seconds and we're ready to roll. Thruster position, squat position, weights in front, in 2, in 1. Quarter squat and drive up through those arms nice and strong at the top. Perfect. If you can hear Jackson's breathing, it's spot on. He's coming up and breathing out, right? He's using the power of the movement with the power of the breath. Good. Core stays tight. We got 20 more seconds here. Zone in. Now, if you need to take little breathers, if you need to use less weight, you're always welcome to make adjustments in workout. Once we finish, we're going to keep the weights and do a little leg swinging for recovery. We'll start recovery in 3, in 2, in 1. Weights stay down here. You can even lower them, and you have one leg swinging side to side. Okay? Now, make sure it is the other leg that's doing the swinging. All right? Same thing for our next movement. Make sure it is the other leg that is going to extend and curl. In 3, in 2, in 1. One extension, one bicep curl. Good. One extension, one bicep curl. We're going to try to stay tall with the top half of the body, right? Kind of that chest up approach again. That core, good activity through that core. Nice, I love it. Halfway there, 20 seconds. There we go. Prioritize your move. Balance through your core. 10 seconds. Our active recovery will be our butt kickers. In 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weights down. Stand back up. Kick your butt. Shake out your arms. Okay, last of these movements is the combo on the floor. Russian twist and bicycle. Take a seat. Let's get to it. 2 Russian twists, 2 bicycles in 2, in 1. Let's get moving. 1 turn, 2 turns. 1 kick, 2 kicks. Put that combo together. I don't need speed through this, ladies and gentlemen. I need your form. I need you to show me that you can balance what you're doing. I need you to breathe steadily and keep your spine and your core tall and tight. Nicely done. We got our last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Then we finish it up with that active recovery in 3, in 2, in 1. The knees go side to side. Shake them out. So we've got 20 of this active recovery, and then we're going to be moving into the 2 2-2s. So be prepped. We're going to need our weights again. We're going to have our push-ups on the floor for those 2 2-2s. We finish the side to side in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves up. I'm going to reset our clock and put 10 seconds on. All right. So we start in 10. Push-up position is where I need you with those weights at your side. 2 push-ups, 2 deadlifts, 2 flies, 2 squats. In 2, in 1, knock it out. 2 good push-ups. Step it forward. Control that. There's the flat back that I'm looking for, right? He's keeping that back flat. And now bring him up and give me 2 squats. There we go. Once you're done, back to the floor, push-ups again from there. Push-ups to deadlifts, flies to squats. Push-ups to deadlifts, flies to squats. All the way up for that deadlift, my man, all the way up. That's okay. So do remember, as we're doing a deadlift, I want you to come to a tall position at the top, all the way up in that top point, and the same thing for that squat. You always come to the top of that. Good. You need to drop to the knees? Do so, right? Hopefully we're getting to a little bit of burnout. You guys are nearly done with half this workout already. Okay, we go finished with these in 3, in 2, in 1. We put the weights down and we go to the single leg deadlift next. Remember with this, we're switching the foot with each of them. Good, taking your time at this point. Now, I've been telling Jackson and a few people, a great way I find I'm improving my balance is if I can find like the back of the hamstring, where the top of the hamstring and the bottom of the butt meet, if I put my focus on that point, kind of that crease, I really notice that my balance increases. Maybe try to put that into what we're doing. We're going to follow with our core 3. We're going to be on our side for our first core movement. We've got 10 seconds to rest in 3, in 2, in 1. 10 seconds off, but come down to the floor. Our core 3 starts next. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Go ahead and lift up, hand to foot, or keep those knees bent, and you can bring that elbow in as a good option as well. When that crunch up happens, I want you to breathe out. Crunch up and breathe out. There we go. We're going to go to the opposite side, beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it, switch it, keep going. Excellent. Show me control, especially on the way out. You can reach up high, great, but can you control coming down? Because that's where we're getting the most out of this movement. 10 more seconds, then we go mountain climbers to finish. We go straight mountain climbers. We'll begin mountain climbers in 3, in 2, in 1. Straight to the floor, one knee in at a time. You might be pushing that tempo if you're feeling good. Love it, everybody. Come on. We got a break to follow. If you're feeling good, you give me that extra little bit for your final 10 seconds right here. We go finished up officially in 3, in 2, in 1. That is bend your knees. That is rest and recover. That is get some water. High five a loved one, a friend, or you can just high five us virtually out here. You can raise the roof. Love it. You're feeling good. All right.
These guys do this twice a week.
I think Jackson's impressed with what you guys put up with over there. So Jackson is like a world-class surfer. He probably would totally disagree with that, but he pretty much is. So, you know, this is a very, very active gentleman right here. You guys are gassing him with what you're doing. You're doing great. Now, we're finishing up with our Tabata sets here, so let me put the Tabata on the clock. Jackson and I are going to show you your 5 movements that you've got associated with your Tabata. What we're going to need weight-wise is a single moderate weight, or you could also use just a light weight. You could also go heavy depending on how you're feeling, but aim for basically one moderate weight I think is probably ideal through this. First thing we're going to do is going to be a split stance, so I'm going to get into a right foot forward stance, and I'm going to have my left hand, so opposite hand holding a weight. From here, we remove the opposite arm. We're going to pull the weight out to the side and release back down with control. Okay? Now, if you needed to make this a little bit easier, you could keep that elbow bent as you pull up through here too, and that can make things a lot more manageable. We'll do that on one side for 20. We'll take a break. We'll do that on the opposite side for 20. After that, you can keep some weight. You can put some weight down. We're going to do a squat and a knee lift on one side only. So we do one good squat going down. We bring the knee up on that side only for 20 seconds. One side with that knee lift for 20 before we switch and go the same thing on the opposite side. After that, we put whatever weight we got down. We're working on punches. Our punches get us into an athletic position. We've got our fists right at the sides of our ribs. One strong punch at a time, trying to breathe out with those punches. Okay, last 2 movements, 3 exercises, come down to the floor. It's a plank position. We're going to be going single balanced, so if one hand's here, I need my feet to be wider. We're going to pull one arm straight out to the side and release back down. So once again, kind of working on that back strength, that delt fly position. If you needed to be on the knees, you could have your hips forward. You are more than welcome to do this, and you can get plenty out of it. You could also do it without weight. And then our final movement is a Superman. We're gonna go flat to the floor, extend your arms out, lift everything up, and control it coming back down. Okay? A more manageable option on that, have your elbows bent once again as kind of a nice lighter option for the shoulders. That's our Tabata circuit. Get yourself a quick sip of water. We'll be going through it as we go. Of course, first round is probably a little bit better off for learning. Second and third rounds is where we can ramp some things up. We're gonna get ourselves started in that split stance. So right foot forward, left foot back, and your left hand is holding the weight. I've got 10 seconds till we get going.
Is it a fly?
Yep,
Yeah,
it is.
that's right.
It's a fly. So in 3, in 2, in 1. You're here, and you'll notice what I love about Jackson is he's kind of tilted forward, so that requires more core. As he pulls that weight up, it's that back muscle that he's aiming for, or that elbow could be bent. Make it a little bit easier if necessary. Finish on this side in 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up, switch your feet, switch your hands. Second side will start soon. We'll begin in 3, in 2, in 1. Go ahead and lift up from that next side. Perfect. Now, Jackson's doing a hell of a job of being nice and slow as he comes back down. That takes this up to the next level in the workout, and I want you to practice the same thing. Extra slow coming back down. In 3, in 2, in 1. We've got squats next. You can keep the weight or ditch it. You're going to bring a knee up on one side only. We'll get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Squat to a knee up on one side. Take your time. Practice this. Make sure that you're feeling your heels through your squat. Keeping your core tight through the squat as well. Good. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10 before the switch. Once again, if you need to ditch the weight or go lighter, you're welcome to it. In 3, in 2, in 1. One good squat, next knee up. There we go. Taking your time. Good squats with each. And we go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weight down. It's punches next. Athletic position. Fists are at the sides. We're going to find a focal point in 3, in 2, in 1. One good punch and a breath out associated with that punch. If you can really give me a good strong breath out, that's going to increase what your diaphragm is doing, how your abdominal muscles are working here. It's going to take us up another level. Good. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Next up is the single arm plank position. Come to the floor. Feet are wide. Single arm lifts and lowers in 2, in 1. Lift up and control down. Now, I don't want to see this hip lifting high and rotating. We're going to try to keep that hip as still as possible. You can, of course, be on the knees and have your hips forward through this, keeping your butt tight, keeping you good and active. In 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10, bend your knees, recover. Wide stance with the feet again. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Next side, and work control here, people. Work control. Lock in your movement, breathe steadily, and you've exhibited that control necessary. Good. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Flat to the floor, arms out. Superman's to finish Tabata right here. Superman's to finish Tabata. Lift up and drop down in 2, in 1. Everything lifts. Control it back down. Good, so Jackson is showing you a variation right off the bat where he keeps the elbows a little bit closer, and that's putting less strain on his low back. It is a really, really smart move. If you needed to make that even easier, you could really pin the elbows down at your sides. 3, 2, rest, recover. That is 1 out of 3 for Tabata.
Easy street.
Woo! Woo! Hello, easy street. Jackson's laughing because I told him when we hit Tabata it's easy street. And he's like, easy street? Are you kidding me? All right, folks. So per usual, I'm not going to give you too long of a rest right here. Get that water, get yourself ready. It's a single weight for the split stance in that single arm delt fly. Let's hit reset, let's hit start. Got less than 10. Right foot forward, left foot back, left hand holding in 3, in 2, in 1. Right foot forward, left hand holding the weight. You've got that tilt of the top half of the body. You're feeling those back muscles working, and slow on that down takes it to that level, that next level, folks. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Next side coming up. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Control through it. Good. Abs are locked. That forward foot is grounded. Give me strength in that forward leg. Bend the elbow if you need it. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. You can keep the weight. We've got the squats and the single knee lift next. You can drop the weight if you need it. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. 1 squat, 1 knee lift, and stay on that side. Stay on that side for our first 20. Good. Most important, are you in control? Are you feeling the back of your feet? I don't need speed, I need the form. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1, rest for 10. Breathe. Second side begins in 3, in 2, in 1. 1 good squat, 1 knee lift. There we go, there we go. You line it up, you find consistency. Good. After this, the punches will follow. We'll be putting down the weight in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's put the weight down. Getting ready for your punches. We've got our athletic stance. Fists are here. In 3, in 2, in 1. 1 good punch at a time. Now tighten up that belly if you can. That is really, once again, going to integrate more. Bring it up a notch. There we go. And keep those knees pulled out just a little bit, tracking the knee on top of that foot. 3, 2, 1. Come down to the floor. It is that single arm plank. Feet are wide. You're going to lift one arm to one side in 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, control down. If you're burning out, go to the knees. If you needed to go to the knees for the beginning, do that and make sure that those hips are forward when we're on the knees. Everybody, you make sure your hips are forward as you're on the knees. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Bend the knees. Recover. 2 more movements, then we take a break. In 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it up. Control it down. Yes, yes, we're trying to limit the lifting of the body on that side besides the arm. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Flat to the floor, arms reach out. Superman's next. 3, 2, 1. This is last 20 right here, then it's break time. You show me that best lift, that best slow lowering. Solid job. Finished up in 3, in 2, in rest. Break time. It is 1 and done remaining. 1 and done remaining. How we doing over here, buddy? You get yourself some water. You take that break, you know?
Oh, man.
If you guys are going through the same thing, if you were just huffing and puffing and out of gas, then we're just going to try to make it through this last round. You take the necessary options and or the necessary breaks required to allow yourself to kind of decompress if you need it. Okay? We got 1 final round. Remember, as we finish our final round of Tabata here, that we're going to follow it 1 last time with the 2-2-2s, with the mobility work, and with those core 3 movements. Sarah's in good shape, huh?
She's in real good shape.
No
man.
doubt, dude. No doubt. All right, everybody. So finish up your water. We're going to need that single weight one more time. That split stance, that single arm fly. Let's reset this. We start ourselves in 10. Right foot forward, left hand holding the weight. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Extension with control. I'm going to cue you, Jackson, to bring me this free arm just a little bit out to the side. And if we get both those arms out to the side, then both sides of the body really working hard through that. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Right. Next side coming up. Left foot forward, weight in the right. In 3, in 2, in 1. Control the lift, control the lowering. Once again, folks, take breaks as necessary. I know we're in our final round, or if you're feeling good, you're ramping it up, right? You're going to that next level if you got it in you. Let's go finished with these in 3, in 2, in 1. You can put the weight down or you can keep it. You've got the squat to the single knee lift coming up. One side only, in 3, in 2, in 1. One squat, one knee lift. Excellent. Work on a good proper squat. You're going to feel those knees pulling out just a little bit. Perfect. Bellies are tight. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest. Okay. Breathe. If you need to ditch the weight, ditch the weight. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. One squat, one lift. There we go. There we go. Zoning in. All right, our punches will follow. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weight down. Athletic position. You've got punches coming up. Beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. One good punch at a time. Now, if you need to take intensity down a little bit, take intensity down a little bit. Let's keep fighting through here. Or take intensity up and squeeze those core muscles and punch with authority right here. You find a visual point and you're really getting at it. In 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it down to the floor, plank position. Feet are wide or knees are wide. In 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up and control that down again. Minimal movement besides that arm. If you need to drop to the knees, if you need to take a break, you do so. Finished up in 3, in 2, in rest. 10 seconds off. Last 2 movements, and then we've got that little cycle to finish. In 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, control it down. There we go. Lock in, folks. Lock in. You're so dangerously close to the end right here. You give me the best bit that you can to wrap your day up. In 3, in 2, in 1. Flat to the floor. Superman's finish out Tabata. We get going in 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, control it down. Okay. Excellent. Find your shoulders through that lift. Find your butt working through that lift. And that slow return is the killer right here. That's really what gets us to that last level. In 3, in 2, in 1. That is break time. I'm not going to give you a long break. You've got to finish one more set of your 2-2-2s, your mobility, and your core 3 before we call this thing officially done today. All right, get those weights in position. Let me get my clock set up. We start ourselves in 10, folks. We start in 10. 2 push-ups, 2 deadlifts, 2 flies, 2 squats. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. You show me control here, folks. 1 minute of good control. Step it in, belly tight, back straight. Yes. all the way up tall at the top. 2 flies now, abs tight so we're supported, so we're safe through that. And 2 squats. Lift up, bring those weights up. Find 2 quality squats before going back down to those push-ups. All the way up there, my man. There we go. There we go. And as I'm cueing Jackson to go all the way up through the deadlift, it's so that we're getting all the range of motion in the back of the leg. Great control on the down, 2 squats, then you hit repeat. Got about 10 seconds left. Then we follow with the mobility move. Those single leg deadlifts will follow in 3, in 2, in 1. Next, for the 45 seconds, you go that single leg deadlift and you switch the foot with each of those single leg deadlifts. Okay, tight bellies. Once again, that focal point. What leg is staying? And can you think about kind of the crease area between bottom of the butt and top of the hamstring? And I think that's going to lock you in a little bit better. 15 seconds. After this, we've got 10 of rest before we go to the floor for that core 3. The side body crunch is where we'll go for the core. In 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor, arms extend, legs extend, opposite hand or hand reaching towards the toes. In 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, control it down. There we go. Bend those knees if you need. Bring that elbow into it if you need to make that more manageable. Always welcome to find those manageable approaches. This is the tail end. You got 3 core movements and then we're done through this thing. Doing a great job, everybody. Great job. Okay. We switch over in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it, switch it, keep going. Got no rest here. Good, and I love what I'm seeing. Everybody slow coming down, right? Slow coming down. You lift up, you breathe out. You take a break if you need it. We're finishing with mountain climbers in 10 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers. Face the floor, bring those knees in. You've got 30 seconds to your finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, if you got anything left in you, you push it here and now. All right, 10 seconds, last little bit. Keep that breathing, keep that oxygen in and out. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Lie down on your back, rest. Take those arms overhead. The sweet sound of the bell has rung. Nice job, my man. Nice job.
Oh, do it again.
Is that how you all feel? Are you ready for another round out
Thank
there?
you, sir. May I have another?
All right, everybody. Well, sit back, relax. On your back is even better. All right. Allow that breathing to slow, to deepen. And we'll get into a little stretching from here. I'd like you to bring your right leg up, your hands behind that leg, and you just start out with that basic hamstring stretch here. If you'd like, you're welcome to kind of move the foot around some. Feel if you can open up maybe some tight ankle area, top of the foot. And we're finding like that moderate level of discomfort in our stretch. We're not really going too far with it, but we certainly want to be feeling it. From here, we're going to bring the leg just a little to the left. We're going to hold it again. So now we're getting to that outside hip. Kind of some chronically tight areas in us. Same thing, you're welcome to create some movement with the foot up top if you'd like. You're also welcome to stay still into what you're doing. Okay, and then from here, bend the knee, and with your left hand, bring that knee to the left side. With your right hand, reach over and look to your right side. Okay. So we've talked about this before. I want you to make sure that your right shoulder has the ability to stay down on the floor, and that will dictate how far that right knee can come towards the floor as well. Okay, let's find a nice big inhale in and a nice long exhale out, and we'll go ahead and unwind, bringing that right foot to the floor, and we'll bring that left leg up, hands behind it. And once again, any movement of the foot is welcome if you'd like. You continue to find that deeper, slower breathing. Find some gratitude for the workout you've just done. Get into your mental game. We're going to talk about kind of building mental strength. We just spent a lot of time building some physical strength here. Mental strength, things are going a little haywire right now. And how do we kind of make sure that we're presenting ourselves in a good light to our family and those who may have any sort of issues or that? Well, by assessing things mentally. And so finding clarity through kind of a thought-making process. Let's bring that leg a little over to the right side, keeping it straight still, and any mobility of that foot or ankle is welcome as well. And kind of the first thing that we teach with mental strength is that time for breaks allows ourselves to reset. And similar to how we discuss how important sleep is in kind of resetting our body physically, well, the mind needs those breaks as well. And it's not just sleep, but stressful days in which we need to give ourselves a little breather and a break, and meditation resembles that. Let's bend the knee and bring it to the floor. You're looking to your left side and you're reaching out to that left side. And when you're going into a meditative state, finding something that you're grateful for is a really, really easy way to tap into kind of shutting off events in the outside world. Also finding not only a point of gratitude, but finding a vision that brings you some level of happiness. So maybe envisioning yourself where you want to go for your next vacation, or where you spent your last vacation with your family, and kind of using these as tricks and tools to get your mind to quiet. Let's go ahead and unravel the legs from here. We're going to sit up or stay on the back. You've got your butterfly stretch next. This is going to have the bottoms of the feet coming together. We're going to make ourselves tall through the spine and kind of just gently press the knees down. There you go. Once again, deeper, slower breathing. And this helps us to unwind already. The breathing of kind of that belly breath coming in and that longer exhale. Once again, put our mind in a little bit more of that quieter state. So we're training ourselves through our mental strength with our breath and our physical, but also kind of the environment around us. Okay. Nice big inhale in and nice long exhale out. Now we're going to go into our kneeling quad stretch next. So I'd like you to have one knee on the floor, one foot out in front. Let's say your left knee is down and your right foot is in front. You're going to squeeze your butt on your left side, and you're going to bring your left arm up into the air. Okay, with your right arm, you're kind of extended out. So we're balancing and we're stretching the front of that left leg right here. And I think also something that comes into play with mental strength is how we allow ourselves to schedule our days, our events. I think as we create schedules, it gives us a little bit more finite opportunity for when something can be done and when it can affect us. Okay, nice big inhale in. Nice long exhale out. Let's bring the hand down, switch to your right knee to the floor, left foot out in front. Once we're here, I want you to squeeze your butt on your right side, bring your arm up on the right side, and maybe even remove that left arm so you're balancing a little bit extra as well. So scheduling a time to exercise, right? You're here, you're now. This is a time to exercise, and this helps mental clarity and mental strength. Scheduling time to play with your kids, right? I think regardless of our circumstances, whether COVID or not, it's important to kind of make time for that consistently. We know the importance of kind of having our time with our loved ones around us. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. Very good. And then come to a comfortable seated position from here. So for me, I'm going to sit back on my heels, and for Jackson, he's going to be just having his feet out in front of him as a way to kind of unwind and relax here. Okay, so from here, we're going to get into a chest opener where we're going to bring our hands back and maybe even just tap them to the floor. We're going to pin our shoulders back, bring the chin up just a little bit, and breathe in deeply. Okay, nice big inhale, should kind of open through the cavity in front, open through the ribs, and have that nice long exhale. Also discussing the scheduling of things, maybe discussing when we schedule paying attention to the news and keeping that at certain segments so that there's not points in which you feel overwhelmed. You know, you can kind of control the environment in which you might be exposed to more stressful events through there. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We're going to finish with our neck stretching. I want you to take one hand behind your back. With the other hand, you pull the head a little to the side as well as just a little down. We find that nice back of the neck stretch. As you breathe in here, I want you to imagine the energy going into that stretching of the back neck. So kind of energetic oxygen coming in. And a nice long exhale out. Give me one more nice big inhale, belly breath comes in. Nice long exhale. With the exhale completed, go ahead and switch out the hands, go to the opposite side. And then lastly, for mental strength in that, the more that you practice doing a few of these tips, things that, you know, kind of bring you clarity, bring you kind of peace, you're setting neural pathways and you're practicing a certain thing. And the more you practice anything, the better you get at it and the better results you get the more you practice at something. And so just look at this as just an opportunity to maybe make a single adjustment or something that comes to mind that can give you more clarity, more mental strength, and make you more successful in your day-to-days. Everybody, you can go ahead and release, relax. Jackson, you are the man.
Thank you so
I can't
much,
thank
Sean.
you enough for filling in right now.
Thank you. This was incredible.
Everybody, give Jackson a roaring round of applause in your COVID households.